Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a very important topic, the warning signs of dementia. It can be a really tough diagnosis, both for the person experiencing it and for their loved ones. The more you know about dementia, the better equipped you'll be to recognize the signs early on and get the help you need. Early detection can make a huge difference in managing symptoms and potentially slowing down the progression of the disease. So let's get right into it. We're going to talk about 10 common warning signs of dementia. Keep in mind that experiencing one or two of these signs doesn't necessarily mean you have dementia, but it's definitely a good idea to talk to your doctor if you're concerned. We all forget things from time to time, right? Maybe you can't remember where you put your keys or you blank on someone's name. That's totally normal. But when we're talking about dementia, the memory loss is much more significant and it starts to interfere with your daily life. Imagine forgetting important dates like your anniversary or a doctor's appointment, not just once, but repeatedly. Or having trouble remembering how to get to a familiar place like the grocery store you've been going to for years. These are the types of memory lapses that should raise a red flag. People with dementia might also have trouble remembering recent events or conversations. They might ask the same questions over and over again, even if you've already answered them multiple times. Dementia can also affect your procedural memory, which is the type of memory that allows you to do things automatically, like brushing your teeth or tying your shoes. It's important to talk to your doctor to rule out any underlying medical conditions and to discuss your concerns. Another hallmark of dementia is difficulty with planning and problem solving. These are higher-level cognitive functions that require a lot of brain power, and they can be affected early on in the disease process. Think about everyday tasks that you probably don't even give a second thought to, like following a recipe, managing your finances, or even just deciding what to wear in the morning. For someone with dementia, these tasks can become increasingly difficult and frustrating. They might struggle to follow a sequence of steps, like gathering the ingredients for a meal or balancing their checkbook. They might have trouble making decisions, even simple ones. If you're noticing a significant decline in your ability to think things through and make decisions, it's definitely something to bring up with your doctor. We all have our routines and habits, those everyday tasks that we do almost without thinking. It could be anything from making a cup of coffee in the morning to driving to work to playing a favorite game. But for someone with dementia, even these familiar tasks can become challenging. Imagine forgetting how to use the coffee maker you've been using for years, or getting lost on your usual route to work. They might also start making unusual mistakes, like putting the milk in the cupboard and the cereal in the refrigerator, or they might have trouble following the rules of a game they've played 1,000 times before. These changes can be subtle at first, but they tend to become more pronounced over time. If you or someone you love is starting to have trouble with tasks that used to be second nature, it's important to seek professional help. One of the most common and disorienting symptoms of dementia is confusion about time and place. It's like losing your internal compass, and it can make even the simplest tasks feel overwhelming. Imagine forgetting what day of the week it is, or not being able to remember if you ate breakfast or not. People with dementia might also have trouble keeping track of appointments or remembering important dates. They might get lost in familiar places like their own neighborhood or even their own home. This disorientation can be incredibly frightening for the person experiencing it, and it can also be very difficult for loved ones to manage. If you notice that you or someone you care about is becoming increasingly confused about time and place, it's crucial to seek professional help. Dementia doesn't just affect our memories and our ability to think clearly, it can also impact our visual and spatial skills, making it difficult to interpret what we see and how we navigate the world around us. Imagine having trouble judging distances, like misjudging the height of a step or the distance between your car and the curb. People with dementia might also have difficulty understanding spatial relationships, They might struggle to copy a simple drawing, or they might have trouble figuring out how to arrange furniture in a room. Even recognizing familiar faces can become a challenge. These visual and spatial challenges can be incredibly disorienting and can make everyday tasks feel daunting. If you or someone you love is experiencing these types of difficulties, it's important to talk to a healthcare professional. Communication is at the heart of our human experience, but for someone with dementia, finding the right words can feel like an uphill battle. This can be incredibly frustrating, both for the person struggling to express themselves and for their loved ones who are trying to understand them. Imagine having a word on the tip of your tongue but not being able to retrieve it, no matter how hard you try. People with dementia might experience frequent pauses or hesitations in their speech as they search for the right words. They might also start using the wrong words altogether, like calling a pen a thing or a chair a sit-downer. This can lead to misunderstandings and frustration, especially in the early stages of dementia, when they're still aware of their difficulties. As dementia progresses, they might have trouble following conversations or understanding complex instructions. Speaking slowly and clearly, using simple sentences, and being patient can all make a big difference. We've all been there, misplacing our keys, our phone, or that important document we just had in our hands. It's frustrating, but we usually manage to retrace our steps and find what we're looking for. But for someone with dementia, misplacing things takes on a whole new level of complexity. Imagine putting your wallet in the freezer or your glasses in the microwave. These are not just cases of absent-mindedness, they're signs that something more serious might be going on. People with dementia might lose things and have absolutely no recollection of where they put them. They might accuse others of stealing from them, even when they've simply misplaced their belongings. It's the inability to retrace their steps that's particularly concerning. This can be incredibly distressing for both the person with dementia and their loved ones. It's important to approach these situations with patience and understanding, and to seek professional help if the behavior becomes frequent or disruptive. Good judgment is something we often take for granted. It's what helps us make sound decisions, stay safe, and navigate the complexities of life. But as dementia progresses, our ability to make sound judgments can become impaired, leading to potentially risky or even dangerous situations. Imagine giving away large sums of money to strangers, or falling for scams that seem obvious to others. People with dementia might make poor financial decisions, neglecting to pay bills or giving away money to telemarketers. They might forget basic safety precautions like leaving the stove on or forgetting to lock the door. It's essential to create a safe environment for the person with dementia and to seek professional guidance on how to manage these challenging behaviors. Social interaction is a fundamental part of the human experience. We thrive on connections with others, whether it's spending time with loved ones, pursuing hobbies, or simply engaging in casual conversations. But for someone with dementia, maintaining these connections can become increasingly challenging, leading to withdrawal and isolation. Imagine losing interest in activities you once loved, like gardening, playing cards, or attending social gatherings. People with dementia might start to withdraw from their hobbies and passions, no longer finding joy in the things that once brought them pleasure. They might stop calling friends and family, preferring to stay home and isolate themselves. This withdrawal can be heartbreaking for loved ones to witness, and it's important to remember that it's not a personal rejection. Dementia doesn't just affect our cognitive abilities, it can also have a profound impact on our mood and personality. Imagine experiencing rapid mood swings, going from happy and content one minute to tearful and agitated the next. People with dementia might become increasingly irritable, anxious, or depressed. They might experience hallucinations or delusions, believing things that aren't true. They might also exhibit changes in their personality, becoming more withdrawn, suspicious, or even aggressive. If you're noticing significant changes in the mood or personality of someone you love, it's essential to seek professional help. So, we've covered a lot of ground today. We've talked about 10 common warning signs of dementia, from memory loss and confusion to changes in mood and personality. It's important to remember that experiencing one or two of these signs doesn't necessarily mean you have dementia, But it's definitely a good idea to talk to your doctor if you're concerned. Early diagnosis is key when it comes to managing dementia. While there's no cure for the disease, there are medications and therapies that can help manage symptoms and slow down its progression. Early diagnosis gives you and your loved ones time to plan for the future and make important decisions about your care. If you or a loved one are experiencing any of these signs, it's important to consult a healthcare professional. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more informative videos. Stay healthy.